You ever had one of those days where you felt like you don't want to do a thing? Or I should say, one of those mornings where you feel like you don't want to do a thing. And it's not because you don't know what you should be doing or what you should be working on. You have a clear idea on what the things are you should be putting your time and effort and energy into. But for some reason, it's just one of those days where it's just not clicking. And then you kind of find yourself in this spiraling negative thought pattern, wondering to yourself, are even the things you're doing making sense? Is it even worth it, or is it even going to pay off? And I'm going to be honest with you, I had one of those mornings where I was like literally this close to just saying, you know what, like I'm not going to do anything today. And then I came across this video from Alex Hormozy. And it's so funny. It was like, this was the message that I needed to hear this morning, just to give that boost to kick me into gear. And so I thought I needed to make a video on this just because I wanted to capture this moment and this message, this message that he shared. And so I actually watched this video probably like a good 10 times. And I decided to write down this message so I can actually share it on camera. And so this is the message that he spoke about on this video. And he said, one of the hardest costs of what entrepreneurship feels like is the feeling of uncertainty that you don't know if all the work that you have been spending all of your nights and weekends and off time investing in will ever pay off. And so it's this fear that you're wasting your time. But the reality is that the outcome isn't the thing that you're building. The person you are is the person that you're building, and that continues to work. And so there's a proverb in the Bible that says, in all labor there is profit. And you can rephrase that as, the work works on you more than you work on it. So it's about who you become doing the work more than the outcome from the work itself. Because I lost everything 5 years into my entrepreneurial journey, but I still had all the skills and beliefs from before that. And then I was able to reapply those and then have a really big outcome. Y'all, I don't know about you, but this was something that it just hit spot on. Because since I've been on this entrepreneurial journey, I've been wondering to myself, are the things, the tasks, what I'm focusing on, is it really going to pay off in the long run? And so I find myself indeed thinking about the outcome. Am I going to be able to sustain my entire family later on into the future? But almost forgetting that it's not necessarily about the outcome, but it's the person that I am becoming in the process. Those skills that I'm acquiring and developing in the process. And I know we don't spend time thinking about these things, because I don't even spend that much time thinking about it as well, just because I'm always thinking about what is the next thing that I should be doing. And so if I take the time to really think about, okay, so who am I becoming in the process? What are the skills I'm developing in the process? Well, let's think about it. So I started a web design business. And so I'm been acquiring the skills of design, how to properly and effectively copyright to get website visitors converted into leads and potential clients. I'm learning to communicate with my clients and getting their ideas, their vision into something tangible. I'm learning to create compelling designs that keep visitors, browsing on a website even longer, further ensuring that they're able to convert into some form of a lead, whether that be a paying lead or someone who is going to continue to take in the content until they're ready to make a purchase and whatnot. I'm doing this podcast. The skills that I'm acquiring in this podcast is learning to edit, learning to clearly articulate my thoughts. I mean, if I look at the first episode versus now this fourth episode, I'm not that nervous anymore. I'm not rushing to speak. I'm really taking my time to articulate what it is that I want to speak so that I use less filler words. I'm not saying that filler words are a bad thing, but if I want to continue to develop as an effective communicator, I need to be aware and try to lessen the use of these words, filler words, or whatever, what do you want to call them, that may take away from the impact of what I'm trying to say. In the process, I'm also learning to edit my short form videos, edit long form videos, market these on social media. And like, these are very useful skills that, once you acquire them over time, you'll probably be able to help someone else do the same thing. I have a newsletter that I'm working on. And so turning these videos into a newsletter or a blog that people can gain value from. Because as you know, people digest content in various different forms. Some prefer video, some prefer audio, some prefer the written word. And so being able to cater to different people in your audience is a skill in and of itself. And so it's really worth looking at the things that you're doing and deriving, okay, what are the skills that I'm actually working on? How am I bettering myself as a person in the process, and not solely worry about the outcome. Yes, the outcome can be very important, especially if this is the main things that you're working on to make a living from, and that can bring about a certain level of stress, I will admit to. But more importantly, it's this journey of, becoming a better version of yourself every day, being grateful for where you are, where I am, and, the things that I'm doing to continue to transcend myself as an individual and the value that I'm, trying to bring to anyone that's, watching this. And so again, this was on my chest to share today, that you are going to have those moments where you doubt yourself. You are uncertain if you're even doing the right things. And to be quite honest, probably you're not that you're not doing the right things, but it could be that maybe the things that you are working on may not be conducive to the bigger outcome. But what's more important is if you switch that from looking at the outcome to the person that you are becoming in the process, someone who is constantly working on improving themselves, stacking their skill sets. I mean, that's at the end of the day most important, so that you won't, like Alex Hormozi said, even if whatever entrepreneurial endeavor you find yourself, it fails, because I mean, there's a high chance that it is going to fail. The skill sets that you're acquiring in the process, the belief, the confidence, even though you may not feel super confident right now, there is a level of confidence that you are building in the process. It is going to remain with you. No one can take that away from you. And so whatever you choose, whatever endeavor you choose to apply those things in moving forward, you won't be starting from zero. Although sometimes it can feel that way, realistically, you won't really be starting from zero. And so that's something I want you to take away from this. I want you to remember. I want you to internalize. And I'm going to end this by, again, just reading this message from Alex Hormozi, just because I felt like it was so spot on. One of the hardest costs of what entrepreneurship feels like is the feeling of uncertainty that you don't know if all of the work that you've been spending all of your nights and weekends and off time investing in will ever pay off. And so it's this that you're wasting your time. But the reality is that the outcome isn't the thing that you're building. The person you are is the person that you're building, and that continues to work. And so there's a proverb in the Bible that says, in all labor, there is profit. And you can rephrase that as, the work works on you more than you work on it. So it's about who you become, doing the work more than the outcome from the work itself. Because I lost everything 5 years into my entrepreneurial journey. But I still had all the skills and beliefs from before that. And then I was able to reapply those and have a really big outcome.